Most people in the gym who are trying to make muscle make some very simple and easily fixable mistakes. I personally made these when I first started. The point of this video is to tell you these mistakes and tell you how to easily correct them. Most people who take the gym seriously have at one point or currently make one of these mistakes. The first mistake I would say is most common to the people who are beginning the gym and just starting. The first point is to train smarter. So by this, the most common mistake in this mistake is that people do too much cardio. So if your goal is to gain muscle, you need to either stop the cardio or cut it down drastically. If your goal is to go into the gym to get fit, to be healthy, then yeah, by all means keep the cardio up. It's great, good job, keep going. However, if you are trying to gain muscle, cardio is counterproductive to that. There are a few reasons for this. The first one being because the calories that you are using for cardio could be better put to use by tearing muscle fibers and lifting heavier weights. Reason number two is because you need those calories that you are expending in cardio for the body to actually make the muscle. So what I mean by this is when you're doing cardio, you're burning calories, but when you are making muscle, you're also burning calories to do that. So when people bulk, they eat more calories because they need to build more muscle than they would be if they were cutting or trying to maintain their weight. So to cut to the chase, stop the cardio or cut it down and try and lift heavier. Lifting heavy is important. Lifting heavy is important because if you are lifting heavier weights, your strength is going up. If you progressively lift heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier, your strength's going to be going up, and if your strength's going up, you are gaining size. So that takes me on to point number two. Point number two is to keep a log. So write down your lifts. Maybe what I personally do is I track my bench press, my squats and my deadlifts, and if I can see a natural curve and a natural progression through these as I try and lift heavier each week, then that means I am gaining strength and gaining size. One very simple way to explain why this is important, because if you don't know that you are gaining strength, you are not going to be lifting heavier, and you are not giving your body a need to adapt to the circumstances that you're giving it, and you are not giving your body a reason to adapt and grow to the circumstances that you should be putting it in. And you are putting it in and should be putting it under. Strength goes up, size goes up. One big reason, but one less common reason, is that you want just straight up not training hard enough. If you're going to the gym and you're just throwing about some 2 kilo dumbbells, you're not tearing any muscle, you're not concentrating on contracting the muscles, you're not stretching it out, you are not training hard enough. So you want to be going maybe 1 rep, 2 reps before failure to seriously expect to gain muscle size. You want to be pushing yourself each and every day in the gym. If this is something you're serious about, the gym should not be comfortable. Each workout should be difficult. You're not feeling pain because it's wrong to feel that, and it's not something you shouldn't be doing, it's something you should be doing. So in short, if you're not going to the gym and working hard, you're not working for it, it's not going to work for you. You're not training hard, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. It's a hard process, it's a long process, but if you want it, and you want it hard enough and you want it bad enough, it's something you have to do. So something that I talk about a lot to people that know me and people who ask me for advice is nutrition and food. If you are not fueling your body with the necessary things it needs to grow, you're not going to grow. So I think one of the most easily fixable things that come under nutrition is just to basically eat more calories. If you're not eating enough calories to gain, let's start by saying if you're not eating enough calories to gain weight in the first place. So if you need 2,500 calories, for example, to stay your current weight, and you are eating 2,500 calories or less, you are not going to be gaining size. You are not going to be gaining muscle or strength, anything like this. So you need to be eating more than 2,500 calories if you want to gain weight. Something else is you want to be eating more calories because you want to fuel heavier lifts and better workouts. If you're eating more calories, you're going to be able to expend more calories while you're working out, therefore your workouts are going to be better, you're going to lift heavier weights. Going back to that, you're going to lift heavier weights, your strength's going to go up, hence your size is going to go up. If you lift heavier, you're going to gain strength and you're going to gain size. Just to sum it up, you cannot expect your body to give you extra muscle if you're not providing it with the things it needs to do that. If you give it the nutrition that it needs to gain muscle, it's going to be happy to oblige. Your body is under extra stress because you're lifting heavier weights, therefore it needs to adapt to that, and it adapts to that by gaining muscle. And if you give it the things it needs to gain that muscle, everything's going to be happy, there's going to be no problems. So my last point is consistency. This is last, it is the most important thing, but it is last because most people take it for granted. But saying that, it's also the most overrated. It's also the most underrated. It's also the most underrated part of bodybuilding. If you are not consistent, you are not going to be gaining muscle. So that means if you are a week on the gym hitting it hard, yeah, Jeremy Buendia, I am getting this medal, this Olympia is mine. And then for the next week, you are partying on the weekend with your mates, you're drinking all this alcohol, you're eating all this pizza. It's just those two things just are not going to give you the results you're after. It's like taking one step forward and then 2 steps back, or 1 step back, or 3 steps back, depending on how much you can drink. Even if you just go to the gym 3 times a week and then you go out once a weekend, it's not as bad as on, off. You're still giving yourself the best of both worlds. If that's something you need to do, it's not ideal to gain muscle, it's not necessary, but if that's something that your lifestyle wants, then you can do it. Just don't be stupid with it. So those are my top 5 mistakes that most people make in the gym. I hope that this has helped you. I mean, I'm going to say that I hope you make these mistakes because then you can learn from them and you can fix them and it's going to help benefit you in the future. So yes, I am going to say that. I hope you have made one of these mistakes. I would like to thank you very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you in the next video. I'm going to start by saying something very direct that gets your attention. Sex. Yes.